That's what people, they do that. They make all those noises, right? They go, oh! Hello, everybody. How goes it? I hope everybody's having a good Sunday right now. Talking has been very difficult lately. And I think that's because I'm reading and streaming a lot less than I used to. It's reading I've been doing off and on. That's one thing. But I've definitely been streaming a lot less. And I think because of that, it's been difficult to slow my roll, slow my voice down, and really, like, enunciate words and think about what I'm going to say and stretch my mouth out and stuff like that. Of course, I also did just wake up from a nap. So that could have something to do with it. I haven't been drinking water at all today. And I'm eating food. So it could be could be a mixture of three things. Or I'm just lazy. But hello everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're back again with the life and suffering of Sir Brant. In times of the fall of the blessed Archnean Empire. Oh fuck, Prince Jiren comes out July 20th. That's like in 2 weeks. It could be next week. Damn. Well, this should be good then. We'll finish this up and then play that one, because at the current moment, I'm having a good time with Mr. Brant here. Mr. Brant, I'm having a good time with Mr. Brant. We are on Chapter 3. Now, that doesn't say much, though. That doesn't answer very many questions, because it takes me like a full stream to get through one of these chapters, but it looks like peacetime is going to take us the longest. All right, here we are in the youth of our prime, in the prime of our youth, in the youthful primacy. All right, Mario. Hello, Soviet. Sorry. I'm eating a Danish and a chocolate chip cookie. Not exactly meal food, but the only thing I've had today is bananas. So I'm kind of out of it right now. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Let me adjust myself. My camera and my lights are at a different angle now, so it's gonna be weird going for a while. Maybe I resync myself. No, that looks okay. I guess we can stick with that, then. Alright. Can drink and clear my throat. Oh, cold water, yum. My air conditioner got fixed, by the way. Big fan. Get it? All right. So we've just left our hometown. We're on our way to Eterna. It takes a whole month to reach Eterna. You and Thomas spend the days wagging your chins and staring at the scenery as your carriage makes its way along the road and towards the next province. Soon it crosses from the familiar barren arid lands of Magra to the stately mountains of Illyria. During one of your many stays at the roadside inn, the two of you even manage to share a whole bottle of strong wine and keep it a secret from the servant who drives the carriage. I think there's a map. So we grew up in Anazot, down here in Magra, and we are now in Eterna. Which, that's on the other side of the continent, which is kind of crazy. Adult life feels positively intoxicating. Soon, I tell you. Soon we'll be there, and I'll earn my sword. As soon as I get accepted into the military academy, you'll see. And then nobody's gonna walk all over me like I'm some commoner. Yeah, we'll see about that, bud. You keep rehearsing everything they taught you in school. Soon, you are almost at the end of your long journey. You've left behind the arid rocks of Magra, the mountains of Illyria, and the flooded meadows of Archnia. Eterna, the capital, is right ahead. Archnia has flooded meadows. Here? Astinia, Illyria, Monia. Oh, oh yeah, okay, these are flooded meadows. Wow. Oh, excuse me! That's loud as fuck! Turn the music up a little. Arrival in the capital. Situated at the junction between the Reglata and Tellerina rivers, the city is vast. 3 majestic stone bridges keep its 3 shores interconnected. Smooth stone paves the main city streets. Gilded moldings decorate the buildings. Towering pillars reach high into the sky. Your carriage takes you past a spacious park with marble fountains and intricately trimmed bushes. On the streets, you see ornately decorated carriages between Archnean coats of arms and abundant merchant tents, filling the streets with beckoning cries and unusual sights. The spires of ancient temples dot the city skyline. The carriage comes to a halt on a large city square with a towering marble fountain. The coachman says you've arrived. Thomas is to apply at the military academy. The academy barracks are 2 streets away. Your lodging house is in the alleyway nearby. A room has already been reserved for you. You get out onto the street and say brief goodbyes to each other. You promise to meet again after the entrance exams. Then your friend disappears into the crowded streets of the capital. You left your own devices in this vast city. A group of nobles walk past. They're dressed in well-fitted clothing, decorated with gems and golden thread. You're not even noticed. Street urchins chase a dog down the alleyway. Soldiers of the Imperial Legion are marching to fifes and drums towards the barracks. Humble pilgrims are gathering to the great temple of the twins. There are sounds of music and fountains and the smells of baked bread and garbage trains. The Imperial Legion. Oh, you're one of those. Hello, Cyrodiddle. You quickly check in at the lodging house and then go back outside. The sun is setting. The street lights come to life. Merry music fills the taverns. Couples and noble coaches with tinted windows fill the streets. Shadows and hushed voices and laughter fill the parks. You're all alone with this city, so vast and unfamiliar. You take a look around, determined to fill your first night in the capital with memories. You see young nobles gathered by the fountain, talking and making jokes excitedly. One of them keeps glancing at the clock tower. They're about your age. Their clothes are hand-tailored, and 2 of them bear noble swords. They seem to be waiting for something. Might be a good idea to make their acquaintance. It would be most helpful to develop a familiarity with the influential nobles of the capital. We also have new stats we have to up. I would like to upgrade diplomacy, eloquence, manipulation, and scheming as much as I can. Maybe a little bit of valor would probably go a long way. I'm gonna be honest. Your ability to fight and command troops would probably be nice. I'm gonna forego theology pretty much altogether. And maybe I will forego scheming in favor of manipulation, eloquence, valor, and diplomacy. But those are kind of the ones I want this run. It's gonna be kind of tough fitting all those stats in. But we'll see, we'll see. Hang on. Let that play out. I want to take a bite of my cookie. Yummy. Sorry. Loud music from a large establishment on the corner district distracts you for a moment. The servants have just opened the shutters to air out the hall. It seems there will be a gathering inside. People from various estates greet each other as they take their seats. A servant by the door of the establishment hails you. Sir Gert Arkwright will be making a speech about the rights of the common estate. If you wish to listen, you'd better get inside quickly. Then you look at the great temple of the twins at the far end of the street. The pillar shines in the evening dusk above it. The temple gates are open and the worshippers are flocking inside. There are too many people for an ordinary service. This must be something important. What do they preach here in the capital? What do they say of the new faith and of the teachings of Patriarch Photis? I gotta turn this down. Whoops. You snap out of your reverie when you hear loud laughter. A group of young men dressed in the colors of the Imperial College have made the acquaintance of several lovely girls. They are making their way down the road, united by merriment. One of the girls smiles at you. It's an invitation to join them. They turn the corner and walk away, but you can still hear their voices ringing and echoing through the streets. A night of revelry and jolly, loud fun, doesn't sound half bad. This is your first night in Eterna. No matter what you choose, you will remember it for a long time to come. We can beat the noble youths, which will increase my diplomacy and my manipulation, which are both two things that I want. Forge a bond with a group of young nobles. Listen to Arkwright's speech, which increases my manipulation and my eloquence, which are both things that I want. Visit the Great Temple, which would be theology and eloquence. No thank you. Listen to the speech on the rights of commoners. Worshippers of the temple attend a nightly service. We could run after the students to get plus 10 willpower. It's really good, though. We could go fucking. No. We're gonna listen to Arkwright's speech. Hello, I'm Red. Manipulation and eloquence. Do I know I love Danganronpa? No. Is that like a username? You enter the establishment and find a free seat next to a group of well-dressed young men and women. Soon the hall fills with people, packed wall to wall. A richly dressed elderly man with tenacious gaze and a wrinkled forehead appears before the audience. My name is Gert Arkwright, and I'm an industrialist from Illyria. I should start off with a few short words about myself, just like you. I was born on the common estate. My father was a hard-working miner. The mine broke his back and he died of natural causes. My mother used to say, that was his lot. You work, you endure, you suffer. Well, now I'm the owner of 5 ore processing facilities, factories, and every day gets me thinking, how come a son of a run-of-the-mill miner and a wealthy industrialist have to live by the same lot? You always watch your live? Aw, well, thank you. Tell me this now. Is it just and fair that a man who owns a factory has the same meager rights as an ordinary farmer? If you own several stores and command the workers almost like a noble commands an army, must you really suffer like a low-born man? Even if you can afford good clothing, good food, and a good house like a nobleman? Even if you live and stand closer to the nobles than the farmers and tinkers and manservants? This man is a Republican. He's about to start hoisting the tri-banner. His introduction sparks a debate. Most of the people in the hall side with Arkwright. They say that well-to-do people need not live by the commoner's lot. There are outcries defending the holy function of the lots, but they are quickly snuffed without support. For the first time in your life, you see people daring to defy their lot in public. Emotions soon begin to run high. More and more people shout words of opposition to the current order of the empire. They argue that industrialists, merchants, and other well-off people are no worse than the nobles, and ought to have their say and their own rights. Order, my good people, order! Now's not the time to rebel. If any of you are itching for weapons, you should leave our company and proceed to the gallows on your own. We're here to work out through peaceful debate a solution for this gross injustice, and then submit our solution to the Great Imperial Council. The gathering ends in the small hours of the night. The majority come to an agreement. Their idea of the best solution is to introduce a new social class, a separate estate that would bear the sum of the nobles' rights and freedoms. The bourgeoisie, if you will. Unfortunately, there are too few of us to even convince the Great Council to have our proposal seen. But we will not stop until we prove to the nobles and the Emperor that we are rabble no longer. You make your way back to your lodge room. You're absolutely shocked. There are so many people in the capital who openly defy the laws. How different they are from the listless, lethargic people of Anazoth. You think of Gloria before you drift off to sleep. She would have been overjoyed to be present at a gathering like this. Eloquent, still a little tongue-tied. We'll try to get that up as much as possible, but my manipulation is wonderful. You arrived in Eterna, the ancient capital of the blessed Arcanian Empire. Time for a bite. Time for a bite. And my teeth hurt. Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. Sorry. Just chewing my food. You have spent the last 3 days studying books. But today, you decide to take a walk through the streets of Eterna. They're full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests walks through the square. You notice that one of them holds a banner of the new faith, an open book. This is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Photis on the day of his assassination. A crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at an icon painting on a small pedestal depicting a gray-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face, the face of the late Patriarch Photis. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak with the coat of arms of the capital province embroidered on it. He's Luke, Patriarch of Arcania. He's got a dollar bill on his chest. He casts his stern gaze over the crowd. You know, it's a cross. I speak to all who live within the sight of the Shining Pillar. Exactly 1 year ago we lost Photis, Patriarch of the Magra province, mentor of the new faith. Patriarch Photis was the first to see the books of Asatius for nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. He was the first to tell people to seek the path of the gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots, to seek answers in the lives of the twins and their own hearts rather than the words of the priests. Through Patriarch Photis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy. They are truth that used to be obscured by Asatius' lies. And now I bring good news. Patriarch Junius Diamant has seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Yes, Junius Diamant, an Arcanian from a great dynasty, and the Patriarch of Astinia has joined the new faith himself. And through this we hope that the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We're free from the shackles of the lots. We're equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth, and one day the entire empire will hear our call. So let us pray, brothers. The believers around you bow their heads in prayer and thank the twins. Not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for a chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hand to meet in the sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermon forms a cadence. Your heart beats in time with it now.
Excuse me.
You recall the murder of Patriarch Photis a year ago. Seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now. The news of Junius Diamant joining the new faith is stunning. If an Arcanian from a great dynasty has sided with Photis' doctrine and agreed to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. But suddenly, several figures appear by the podium. Figures clad in black and glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors. They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He's clean-shaven, tall, with chiseled features. Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. I am Father Ulrich. In the name of the twins and by my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you're hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke has set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow his heresy to spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life offers us no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. Most people leave the square immediately. Few want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however. Some even shout angrily. We want to listen to Luke. He's the Patriarch of Arcania, and he has more to say. Get away from our sermon, old believers. We will not listen to you and your hoary old lies about the lots. Hoary. Inquisitors, bring those who may yet listen back to their lots and leave the others to the champions of faith. The black-clad inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. The uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split it into smaller groups that surround each inquisitor. One of these inquisitors chooses to approach you. He is a humble-looking man of age with a rough haircut. He looks you straight in the eye as his lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words, despite yourself. My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You're not sure whom to trust. But I teach at the seminary, and I've been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see their light in your eyes, the light of the true faith. Will you listen to my counsel, my son? You feel no malice in the words of Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you away from error, and to set you on the path of the true faith. He's a priest, so he should know the truth. Perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. I could listen to his counsel, increase my theology. Debate him. Oh, and increase my eloquence. You argue against the Inquisitor, and in favor of the new faith. You refuse to be ordered around by him. It is not the clergy's place to give orders. Well, let me take a look. My diplomacy is almost promising, but I really would like to try and boost my eloquence as much as possible. 1 point at a time, I don't think is going to be enough to get me anywhere, but I think I gotta fucking try, man. Being eloquent is more important to me than anything. I don't know how I got it so low. Debate him. Debate this man on things of faith. Could be a bad idea. He's gonna beat the hell out of me. You start debating the Inquisitor, mustering all your knowledge and awareness of the new faith. The lots are an error introduced by Asatius. They are incorrect, obsolete, and contrary to the new way of life in the modern empire. Please hear me out, my son. In these difficult times, people of your estate are the ones most tormented by doubt. Your lot is suffering, but not all of you are ready to suffer. Some turn to guile and cunning to avoid it, and they end up in eternity's embrace at the foot of the pillar. Please understand. Your lot requires humility. Suffering is inevitable, and so is doubt. Each of them may temper your soul, yet each may also destroy it. But know this, if you have doubts, you are always welcome at the temple. No priest will turn you away in a moment of weakness. This is why we exist, to fortify faith in the hearts of all people, to bring the word of the twins to those who have gone astray. Know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspect of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I am merely speaking to you right now. I've not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. Do not resist this, but rather, consider the following. Did the Patriarch speak the truth? You answered that Luke's sermon was far more convincing than Father Jeremiah's words. Everyone blindly heeds the writings of Asatius, who is but one man who decided that he had the right to define the lives of generations to come. But people have the right to free will, you say. They have a right to choose their destiny and bear the burden of their choice. Father Jeremiah sighs in response. It saddens me to see that you have been led astray so easily. Yet you are young. You should seek to learn the truth on your own. If you truly believe you can interpret the will of the gods, perhaps you should become a priest yourself. If you could come to the Divine Seminary and prove you deserve the lot of the clergy, you will be accepted. I teach there, and I am always happy to see students of considerable talent, even if they have been led astray. But for now, you should leave this place. You will learn nothing by facing the champions of the faith. With this, Father Jeremiah leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with other inquisitors. Armed champions of the faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. You walk back by the lodging house, mulled over Father Jeremiah's words about the seminary. Your family sent you to earn a noble title, but you have an opportunity to become a priest of the old faith or the new. If you see your destiny in service to the gods, no one has the right to stand in your way. The advance of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermons have converted many commoners and nobles of the mantle to the new faith. There are now several temples in Eterna that follow the new canons, with Luke's blessings. This has led to no small amount of anger among the followers of the old faith. Two mighty bishops of the church lead the new faith. One of them is Luke, the Patriarch of Archnia himself, spiritual mentor of the capital province. He preaches all across Archnia, his every sermon adding to the new faith's flock. The other leader of the new faith is Patriarch Junius Diamant. Hailing from the great Archnean dynasty, he's the de facto ruler of Astynia province, adored by his subjects. He has founded the Holy Order anew. Junius Diamant rarely preaches, but people believe the Astynian patriarch attends to the needs of all who convert to the new faith. The schism within the church is growing. The split has furthered the divide between the commoners and the nobles. Well, thankfully, there has been no direct conflict as of yet. But it has become clear that there is no way to stop the steady advance of the new faith. Born from the death of Patriarch Photis, it grows stronger by the day. The church is now schisming. The order has been discontented. We'll see which way the fucking winds blow, man. Fall of the new faith. Fall of the old faith. Discontentment. Triumph of the law or lawless land? It's a lawless land out there, folks. Something tells me we're going to be Central Germany posting. We are Reformation posting, which is fun. Which is, big fan of the Reformation era. But, if we're Central German posting, we could be up a creek. I hope to find myself in German lowlands when the time that happens. Sorry. I'm eating more food. Okay. The next few weeks pass by in hard work and preparation for the coming entrance exam at the Imperial College. You grow more and more exhausted with each passing day, so much so that one night you fall asleep while studying another book. When you finally come to, you decide it's high time to get some recreation outside. The city of Eterna amazes you. As you stroll through its splendid streets, it's another night, a different night, yet the city is beautiful still. The shining pillar is a slice of light against the dark night sky. The lamps on the facades and the buildings are lit. Night descends on the capital. You don't feel like going back to your books tonight. Recently, you made the acquaintance of several young men. They are children of nobles of the mantle, just like you, sent to the capital to earn their noble titles at the college. You decide to seek them out. Yet your friends are having a late dinner on the next street over, loudly discussing their plans for the night. Some speak eagerly of dueling club, where you can see the most skilled and ardent duelers in the Empire doing what they do best. You have never seen professional duelers fight. It must be far more exciting than Father's fencing lessons or that fight in the ruins in Anazat. And if luck favors you, perhaps you can even make useful contacts among the noble families in the capital. The others try to convince the rest to take a trip to a certain secret salon. The establishment is expecting a guest tonight. They say a young lady who speaks about the true state of affairs in the Empire. There are many questions about the nature of the place and identity of the mysterious speaker, but the young men have only one answer. They're forbidden to speak about this outside the club. However, they can take you there, as long as you aren't afraid to learn a dangerous truth. The others are still drinking their fill of wine rather than eating. Fencing, they say. Speeches. Nonsense. The place you ought to go to tonight, they claim, is the Markian Society, a gathering for those of common estate but uncommon opinions that offer pleasures for everyone. Pleasures of the palate, pleasures of drinks, pleasures of the flesh. Is this not heresy and a crime? Perhaps. And yet some of your newfound friends are eager to go there. In the end, your group splits in three to spend the night as they see fit. What will it be? A contest featuring the best fencers in Eterna? An establishment both mysterious and dangerous? Or an encounter with the people who defied her lot with audacity? You weigh your options. Go to the dueling club and learn valor. You decide to learn from the Empire's best. The secret salon gives me scheming a mysterious lady to listen to her dangerous speech. The Markian Society? Fuck! Well, it's dueling club time then. Join these people who have traded away the bliss of hereafter for the pleasures of life. If I take scheming, inciting riots, organizing ambushes, plotting murders, assaults, and sabotage, it determines the success of your criminal undertakings. That could be good. But I want to get my valor up as well. I'm gonna go fencing. Go to the dueling club. You march down the streets to the dueling club, which is located in a manor house decorated rather modestly on the outside but lavishly on the inside. One of your newfound friends nods to the servants and they let you in. The rooms are stuffy, noisy, and filled with tobacco smoke. The sitting room is enormous, and the center is an arena, a circle with a wooden railing. 2 young nobles are fighting already. You take a glass of wine from a servant and watch the fight from one of the many soft chairs. You cannot bear a sword yet, but nobody says you cannot watch. As soon as a dueler is wounded, the fight ends, but the way they fight still makes the audience gasp and scream in awe. When a dueler is too slow to dodge, the duel ends with a bright red line cut through his sweat-soaked white t-shirt. The thin fencing swords cut through the air so quickly, you only see glints of flashing steel, like lightning in a storm. You do your best to remember all the feints and tricks you see tonight. They will come in handy when you earn your own sword. But then a tall young Archnean enters the room. He barges in from behind you and leaps into the arena between the 2 fences, thus ending the duel. He bears a coat of arms with a griffin. This Archnean hails from the great dynasty of Orgriff. The Archnean's voice booms as he challenges everyone in the audience to a duel. He sneers smugly. If you consider yourself nobles, how about you face an Archnean lord in honorable combat? No one moves, no one dares step forward. A duel with an Archnean is suicide, especially if that Archnean hails from one of the great dynasties. Such a duel will end with a lesser death at best, or the true death through trial and execution at worst. Everyone knows the punishment for spilling blue blood, and so everyone remains silent. The Archnean grins. So humans are cowards, he says. You will never be true nobles if you're never ready to risk a lesser death. The Archnean honor and tradition is not for you, and war is not your domain either. For human nobles are but a mockery, a gathering of animals dressed to resemble higher beings. A man leaps into the arena. He's as tall as a tree. His pockmarked face is white with rage and covered in scars. There are whispers of reverence in the audience. This is Marth Verasti, the owner of the club. He's accepted the challenge for the honor of all human nobles. He's yearned to fight an Archnean all his life, and now is his chance. The duelers salute each other, and Sir Verasti begins the attack. A lunge, a jab, another, then another. The young Archnean deflects each attack like he knows his opponent's every move. Sir Verasti's eyes twitch with tension. The owner of the club lunges again, but the Archnean deflects his sword and rips the weapon out of the human's hand. Marth Verasti looks at the Archnean in confusion and bows his head in recognition of his defeat. The Orgriff youth flashes a proud, superior grin. His fencing swords lift the sleeve of his defeated opponent. It bears 3 black marks of lesser death. Now the young Archnean eyes Sir Verasti with the mockery of sadness and compassion. Why, it appears the poor, over-eager ex-commoner is on his last life. Verasti shudders. He asks the Orgriff youth to be kind as to spare his life. Nobleman to a nobleman. The Archnean's face grows dark and grim. His sword stabs deep into Verasti's chest. Then the Orgriff youth speaks, loud enough for everyone to hear. He's the only noble in the hall, he says, and everyone who saw this must forget the dueling club ever existed and leave this place, never to return. The nobles scowl, dress reluctantly, and leave with quiet resentment. No one dares to defy the Archnean openly. The noble gathering disperses outside. You return to your lodging house lost in thought. Archneans stand far above humans. They do not care if you're a commoner or a high-ranking noble. In their eyes, you're only a human. Seems there's nothing that can readily oppose Archnean power. They're the masters of this world. Humans are pale reflections of them, at best. The trip to the dueling club ended on a grim note, but you learned a lot from watching Eterna's best duelers in action. You recall their lunges and blocks before you sleep, rather than master the dueling club being murdered in cold blood. Damn. Killed his ass. Okay, now? Now, where art thou? The Code of Laws? The Code of Laws? What code? Okay. Sorry, still eating food. The year is 1130-580. Spring. You're on your way to the largest library in Eterna to study for your entry exams. It's right next to the college. Where else would it be? The streets are full of people. Everybody's excited. You hesitate for a few seconds, then let your curiosity get the better of you and head towards the place where you will soon study. Before long, you hear the shouting. The great chancellor is about to give a speech about the future of the Empire. You cannot possibly miss this. You mix with the crowd and soon find a convenient place to listen and watch what is about to unfold. On the steps of the college, you see a small tribune guarded by 2 Archnians armed with swords. This is the first time you've ever seen an Archnian standing guard, let alone 2 of them. The doors of the college open to reveal a stately Archnian surrounded by an honor guard. It is he, Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor of the Empire, younger brother to the Emperor himself. He heads for the tribune and casts a look over the square. It's full of people in awe and utter silence. Long ago, humans witnessed the Archnians' arrival. The 2 nations built the Empire side by side. The provinces joined us one by one, and Magra was the final province to attain the absolute might and majesty of the blessed Archnian Empire. Yet there was another great event long before that. 1,000 years ago, the twins had graced us with their presence. With their arrival, the twins granted us their will. They showed us their love and their law, and they granted us knowledge of what awaits us in the hereafter. They chose the dynasty of Tempest to rule the Empire, and from that day forth, our dynasty has ruled this land, ordained by the gods themselves. However, it is our duty to the twins not to seek power for power's sake, but rather to lead the Empire to further prosperity. And so, the Great Imperial Council is soon to review and adopt a new set of laws called the Creed. Under the Creed, all the states will be granted rights. Under the Creed, there will be one law for all Imperial citizens to obey, humans or Archnian, from the lowliest commoner to the Emperor himself. The strife among the estates will end. A single law will resolve all of our quarrels. Glory to the Empire. The Great Counselor throws his arms into the air. The crowd murmurs and applauds in approval. Cornelius Tempest casts another look over the crowd and leaves. The crowd disperses. The sounds of agitated discussion are everywhere. Is it true the Emperor's dynasty seeks to grant equal rights to all estates? What will happen to the Empire then? The girl from your past. It is early morning. You've been awake since sunrise, studying. There's a knock at the door. There's a letter from home or a hotel servant. You open the door and freeze, stunned. Hello, Brant. She's embittered. Before you stands Sophia, the girl who used to live next door. She's all grown up now. She looks so different. You'd recognize those blue eyes no matter what. You gesture for her to come in. Sophia enters the room, glances around, and sits in an armchair. You eye the girl you used to know as you sit across from her. The young woman you see now has little in common with the girl you used to know. There's cold steel in the way she looks at things. Her hair is cut short. But what is she doing here? I can explain. I've been living in Eterna for a long time now, ever since I ran from Anizod. I heard the other day that you'd left for the capital to get into college, so I found you, and here I am. You ask how Sophia learned about your arrival and where you're staying, but she answers your questions with an enigmatic smile. We'll get to that later. Right now, I want to see how much you've changed since we last saw each other. As for me, I've changed a lot. I'm a whole different person now. You look away as you recall your previous encounter, back when Sophia ran away from her Archnian master. Sophia chuckles as she continues. Would you like to know what happened next? I traveled through the entire Empire all alone. I had nothing. My journey ended only when I reached this place, the capital, with all its important people and events. This is the heart of the Empire. It's a place where I can make a difference. I've made friends here, found people I can truly call my family. I've even gotten an education of sorts, and I have a purpose now. I fight against injustice. I fight against the Watts. I fight those who treat our lives like mud on the pavement. And no, I'm not afraid to tell you that. I came to you for a good reason. I need help. I know you. I have faith in your good heart. Besides, this is also about the Imperial College you want to enroll in. There's a scholar there by the name of Bartholomew Dextra. He teaches natural sciences at the college. Dextra is an old man, but he's quite progressive. He'll stop at nothing to advance science and acquire new knowledge. As you know, only second-generation nobles or above are allowed to teach at the college, but Dextra, he's a commoner. He forged his patent of nobility to get a position at the college. But the Secret Chancellery recently learned of this. Dextra is about to face true death for this forgery. But how is that justice? A man wants to teach people, and for this they're going to take all his lives. They're going to punish him for the crime of being born in the wrong estate. It's evil and obscene, and I will not stand for it. Dextra deserves to be rescued. But I don't want to put anyone in danger, so I need your help. You're from a rich family. You're almost a noble. If you help me get Dexter out of the city, nobody will suspect anything. No one will know, and the scholar will live on to continue his research elsewhere, far away from the secret chancellery. Will you help me? You feel perplexed by Sophia's sudden request. She's asking you to break imperial law and undermine the work of the secret chancellery to save the scholar. Rescuing Dexter would be an adventure, but it would also be incredibly dangerous. Besides, Dexter is a fake noble. He resorted to lies and deceit to get his current position. How much does this matter to you? Sophia's blue eyes are studying you, waiting for you to reply. I cannot assuage my guilt, even though that would both increase my manipulation and scheming. And that is because I would have 0 willpower? Oh, it's because Sophia is Sophia is not merciless. You turn Sophia over to Otto. If you help her now, it will make up for what you did to her. Refuse? If I can refuse, there's no way you're going to rescue some false noble. He's getting his just desserts. Valor and diplomacy! Help her scheming and valor. Oh, well, okay. I kind of do want to help her, though. Scheming and valor. I mean, we're scheming. I guess we are scheming, man. Damn it. Maybe we'll forgo diplomacy? If we get diplomacy, it'll be fine, but valor and scheming, manipulation, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll help her. I do want to help Dexter, though. You promised to help Sophia. Bartholomew Dexter does not deserve this. He has to leave the capital. She can count on you. I knew I could count on you. And we must act at once. There's no time to waste. Dexter is to be arrested tomorrow. Here's his address. Go there as soon as sun sets. No one will suspect you. Dexter often tutors young men for the college entrance exams. Tell him the owl sent you. Use the back door to get out. A carriage will drive up the backyard. The driver will hoot like an owl. He'll take you to the south gate. If the guards stop the carriage, just talk your way out of it. Once you're outside the city, Dexter will ride away in a different carriage. You'll go back the way you came. I'll meet you in Majesty Square. Use the back door to get out. Tell him owl sent me. Use the back door to get out. Carriage will drive in the backyard. Driver will hoot like an owl. He'll take me to the south gate. Talk my way out. Once you're outside the city, Dexter will ride in a different carriage. You'll go back the way you came. Okay. Gotcha. Try to remember all that. You nod your words, your hands start to shake. You're about to go against the secret chancellery. You're gonna help someone escape punishment. To defy your own lot like this. Unthinkable. When the sun sets, you leave the lodging house and walk quickly. Glancing over your shoulder repeatedly, Bartholomew Dexter's house must be somewhere around here. You find the place. A genteel old man opens the door. His face is covered in wrinkles. His shoulders are stooped, and yet his eyes are sharp and lively. He's a gamer. Bartholomew Dexter looks at you for a moment, then asks why you have paid him a visit. You tell him you want to enroll in the college and are looking for a tutor. Dexter nods and invites you inside. Once you make sure nobody else can see or hear you, you whisper to the scholar about the real reason for your visit. The secret chancellery will be coming for him tomorrow, and he has to leave now to escape true death. Dexter freezes, then turns to you. How do you know about him and the secret chancellery? You tell him that the owl sent you and has provided for an escape. As for the secret chancellery, they want him for forging a patent of nobility. The moment you utter Sophia's name, the lecturer calms down and starts packing for the journey. You watch him distractedly and notice that he lives in a rather austere fashion. It does not take him long to pack. You hear the quiet clacking of hooves in the yard. Carefully, you and Dexter proceed to the backyard of the building. You see a carriage there. The driver hoots quietly. You get it. The carriage rolls down the road. There's tense silence in the closed-off space inside the carriage. The scholar wrings his hands anxiously. Through the carriage windows, you see the massive city gate passing by. You're almost outside the city, but then a loud voice reaches you. Halt! The driver obediently halts the carriage. 2 city gendarmes approach you. You leave the carriage to face the gendarmes before they can peek inside the carriage. They look you over and ask where you're going so late at night. You tell them you're the son of a judge in Magra, here to enroll in the college, and right now, you wish to visit the estate of a newfound friend. To convince them further, you mention the name of a noble son you've become friendly with. The gendarme release the carriage and wish you a pleasant trip. You drive along the high road until you encounter a peasant wagon. Dexter will take it to seek refuge far away from the capital. Before the two of you part ways, he pats you on the shoulder and tells you that you have done a truly brave deed. You return to the city without incident. You find Sophia in Majesty Square, as agreed, sitting on a bench by a streetlight, reading a book of some sort. She closes the book when she sees you and offers you her hand. So, did everything go according to plan? You nod. Then we've earned ourselves a bit of free time. Let's go. You set off on a walk through the maze of narrow back streets. Finally, you have some time for questions. What happened to Sophia over the last 2 years? She was just a girl before, a servant. How is she now a revolutionary? Sophia just smiles sadly. You've seen what I can do. I'm not just a girl. The Inquisition caught up with me when I ran away from Anisoft. I ended up in the House of Humility, a dreadful place. I got collared. Do you know how it feels to lose your free will? Losing everything that makes you you? She unclasps the tall shirt collar that had been hiding her neck all this time, and you see the round mark from the anti-magic collar. They say a scar like this will remain even after a lesser death, but I got lucky. Patriarch Junius Diamant saved me. Diamant took me and the other mages from the House of Humility and removed our collars. He made me one of his attendants. He taught me that there are no laws. He told me that I am like this not because I'm a freak, but because it's my nature. He told me I can find a path to the twins like anyone else in the world. And then I was taken. I mean, I got out on my own. I found my own lot to protect the common people from the noble yoke, to help others who are as unlucky as I am. Fight for a different world. A world where everybody has equal rights. A world where mages don't get robbed of their will just because of one aspect of their birth. A world where the nobles no longer tread upon the commoners. Yes, this is our dream, but we are still so far away from it. But I will keep moving towards it, and I'll stop at nothing. A strange, distorted expression appears on Sophia's face, but she quickly returns to normal. You keep walking until you're at your lodging house again. For a moment, you just stand there, looking at each other. And suddenly, Sophia embraces you. For a moment, she whispers still in your arms and whispers, "You join my cause. If we work together, one day we'll become a force to be reckoned with. I know you came here to find your way, but I'll never believe you really want to bind yourself to other people's laws and desires for the rest of your life. The path I walk is dangerous. It's almost hopeless. But it's worth living for. Think about it. Goodbye." Then she withdraws, just as quickly as she disappears in the dark streets of Eterna. You make your way back to your room, exhausted by the events of the day. Was this really just a single day in your life? Well, our relationship is now indifferent, thank goodness. She's still a little embittered. But I'm now a conspirator. I'm still weak in battle, but we're almost out of it. We're almost a mediocre fighter. And I'm still conspiratorial. True valor comes in the eyes of those who piss their pants, no matter the cause.
I will never forget that day. For it was then that I chose the path I would walk for the rest of my life.
The rest of my life. What? Today? Oh shit. Okay, yeah, it is today. Woke. There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. Fuck. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more, and finally the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet culotte trousers. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people. Young men, sons of nobles of the mantle, like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last, the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students to be fall silent as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. But the silence is interrupted by a heavy footsteps of clanking armor. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Archnean officers. Their banners bear an image of golden grain. The noble militia of Monia Province? What are they doing here? Monia Province. What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. Hey, Brandon. One of the Archneans is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He's the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly. Agirius Monroe? Ungarius Monroe? Commoners, before you stands Agirius. Agirius? Of the Monroe dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed, and today's entrance exam is cancelled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire, a right that ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not the trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and other traitors to the Empire are indulging you and defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot for those of lowly birth? How can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the Imperial Order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plow your fields, mend your boots, work and suffer by your lot. And if any of you dare set foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students-to-be met this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing, however. The news of the Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads through the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be ennobled. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monroe's forces, to take control of the college and defend your right to become a noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of the shameful, illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You will need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If you're ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. People keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When the estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order, lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods. As the priests utter these words, the crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. The Empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped with pain and despair everywhere you look. Rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that the soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. The gods' given vision demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world. But only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They're led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals to them for them to stop. So you're here too. Gonna rush to college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They gave you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it all away. It's time for you to decide. We're the Lotless. We're not putting up with this system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us? Are you gonna submit to him? There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain the siege, and what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're gonna go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in the square is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college, and all the while the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. The college is your only way into the nobility. Only you can fight for your new lot and fulfill your duty to your family. You could organize an offensive strong enough to get into college, and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman, yet the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path. Standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of warring estates, bringing the twins' word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They're waiting for you to cast off the old ways and the eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. This is the moment. Your future life will be decided here and now. And I can only do one of these. I can only follow the Lotless. I don't have enough diplomacy and valor to be a noble. And I don't fucking have enough theology and eloquence to be a preacher. So, it's time for the Lawless. You join Sophia and her men and try to rescue the besieged student. I mean, it do be like that. Alright. I'm gonna throw that away. I saw gnats flying around on it, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna get worms. You have decided. The storm of doubt in your mind clears at last. You're done serving the will of others. You will defy your lot, and you do not need another. You're free already, and for this freedom, you are ready to sacrifice everything. You walk to the Lotless as Sophia smiles at you softly. Her companions pat you on the shoulder, and then you get to work. The Lotless withdraw from the mob in the square and prepare for the raid. They're strong people of lowly birth, and their clothes are covered in dirt and soot. They hang on Sophia's every word. So the plan is simple. I will go to the warriors by the side of the gate and distract them. You know me, I got ways. The rest of you must get inside the college and lead the people outside. When you're done, wait for my signal. Sparks of yellow flash in Sophia's eyes. She walks with confidence to the nobles guarding the side gate. They meet her with drawn swords, and then a flash of yellow light fills her eyes. The warriors freeze in place. Sophia walks away, and they follow her obediently. The path is clear. You hear one of the Lotless gasp in awe. That's our owl, all right. Only she can do that. It's time. You open the gate and get inside the college, leaving the cries of the mob behind. Nobody stops you. Once this is done, you scatter to search the halls for students and professors. They're not too eager to trust the trespassing commoners, but with Arcane swords hanging over their heads, they trust you anyway. Your student garb helps you convince them. You take everyone you can find of the college through the same unguarded gate. The Lotless take a roll call in the alleyway behind the college. You rescued almost 24 men. Sophia's the last to reach you. It's time to leave. The maze of hidden alleyways takes you safely to a patch of abandoned land. Sophia clambers up into the half-crumbled wall of an old house. She lights her pipe and gestures confidently for everyone to come closer. Welcome all! We are the Lotless. We are the people who will never stand for the injustices of the Imperial system. We live as we see fit. We've no masters, only our own free will. Join our ranks. You will be forever free from the whims of the Arcanians and the gentry. Walk away, and they will be free to do with you as they see fit. I believe today was a fair show of their intentions. The freed students exchange glances. If they join you, their hopes of being ennobled by the mantle will be cut short. But they already saw how precarious their position is. Many of them are enraged by the fact that the Arcanians can take their rights whenever they please. We won't force you to stay. You're free to leave and go back to college when it opens, if it opens. But if you don't want to dance to their tune anymore, the Lotless welcome you. Many students join the ranks of the Lotless that day. You're among them. You're greeted by the motto of the Lotless. Our cause is just. Wow, the slogans of the day, if you will. Folks, the slogans of the day. Your new life has begun. Your life as a member of an outlaw brotherhood. There's no going back. You will be neither nobleman nor priest. Your father will never forgive you for letting the family down. But for the first time in your life, you feel truly free. You've defied your lot. Now your fate is yours alone. What will happen next? You remain in the communist state with no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. I did not stack the correct stats in my favor. What can I say? No college for me. I'm an outlaw! True death. Collapse of the Lotless. You failed to protect the Lotless. The Empire utterly destroys the secret society. The Lotless at large. Manipulation over 13, that's us. I guess I have to become a big criminal then. Shield of the new faith. Shield of the old faith. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Brant, hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep lowborn folk under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He is beaming with pride. You invite him in with chat while you pack. Thomas continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10. Can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and the sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anazot. I'll be studying the art of war now, and then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? You tell Thomas about what happened over the past few days and the path you've chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize that you may never see each other again. You know, Brant, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We gotta make sure our friendship lasts forever no matter what happens to us. Here, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter what fate they take. What do you say? The 2 of you grew up side by side. Thomas the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever no matter what happens? The 2 rings made of plain brass lie in the open palm. If you wear these rings, you will be bound by the ties of friendship for the rest of your life. Swear an oath of friendship? I cannot, because I'm not a nobleman. You take the ring that will bind your fate to Thomas's. Swear an oath of eternal friendship. Take the ring. Keep things as they are. Gives me more willpower. Do your best to keep the friendship alive, but you can't promise it'll last. End the friendship. Goodbye. You're not children. I'll take the ring. Sure. You take one of the rings from his outstretched paw. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even though your paths in life may diverge, nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You're ready to preserve your friendship in brass forever. You put the brass ring on your pinky, a perfect fit. Thomas does the same. He starts beaming again. Now we're friends forever, for all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come, come. I know a place. I gotta show you tastiest meat I've ever tried. Brant, my treat. Read that sentence completely wrong. Bound by friendship. The 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. You and Thomas form an unbreakable bond of friendship. Dong. The fall. A letter from home. You write a letter home and tell you failed to get into college. There's no other way. Father would have learned everything one way or another. It isn't an easy letter to write. He did send you to the capital specifically to attend the college, after all. You write about Archduke Monroe's assault and the students' doubtful future now, that their right to be ennobled by the mantle may be revoked. You tell them that you plan to get a job at the capital to earn a living. They should accept your choice. The reply from your family arrives very quickly. We sent you to the capital with a sole purpose, but you failed. Indeed, nobody expected an attack on the college, but you could have upheld your right to study there had you been more firm. Cornelius Tempest will ensure the college opens again, yet you have already rejected the nobleman's lot. And to what end? I can only accept your choice now, but you will no longer receive any support from the family. It's up to you to earn your keep. I can only hope that you will not disappear in the capital. The entire siege incident is nothing but a poor excuse. You failed to uphold your right to enter the college, and that is the end of it. It cost Father so much time and money to send you to the capital, and you rejected it all! And for what? To remain a commoner until the end of your days? I hoped you would one day become my equal, but now the very thought of this is just absurd. There's another letter. It's from Gloria. It seems neither Father nor Stefan knew she sent it. Sir Robert smashed a vase as he read your letter. Stefan screamed at the top of his lungs about low-born and foul bloods. Fortunately, I led Mother and Nathan away before we all got in trouble. I'm proud of you. You defied Father's will, you went against all expectations, against this entire rotten system. You made this decision, now follow it to the end. I believe this path will lead you somewhere worthy. Take good care of yourself, my brother. Oh, Brant hates me, dude. Stefan also hates me. Oh, our sister loves us. Oh. Oh, Travis. The Lotless. Now the reality of the situation. I don't have any money. You cast one final glance over the room where you lived for so long. Here's the table at which you sat studying all these books. Here's the bed in which you dreamed your future dreams of the future. Your things are packed. You walk down the stairs. The landlord's servile smile is gone now. The unspent remainder of the funds allocated for your accommodations drop into the counter from his reluctant hand, and then he turns away. You've no lot now. You're free. Free even from the knowledge of your tomorrow. You've cast away your destiny, but for what? This remains to be seen. The Brant family will support you no longer, but you have to find a place to stay in the capital so you can aid the Lotless. And so, you seek Sophia. I'm afraid I can't offer you a noble estate, but we found a basement in an abandoned house and made it into our home. It's on the bank of Reglata, by the river port. It's livable. There's only one room for everyone, so bring your own bedding. But it's warm and clean, and we found food and a place to keep our things. You'll be safe. After all those carriage rides, going through the city streets on foot isn't half bad. The Bayside wind still gets under your skin, but it also cools you down on hot days. Not that you need it. You were born in Azot, in the very southernmost part of the Empire, and the hot season as the capital is nothing compared to the real heat in Magra. Recall all the hot days in the garden, sitting with Father and talking about the lots, about your future in the capital. He used to look at you with such pride. He was so confident you would follow in his footsteps. A chilling gust of wind snaps you out of it. Enough nostalgia. It's time to face the future you've chosen for yourself. The house where the Lotless live is close to the port. The basement entrance is hard to find, but you eventually locate it. Inside is one large room with bedding and belongings strewn about all over the floor. You find some free space in one of the corners, so you place your bedding and your things nearby. Then you take a good look around. There's only a handful of people in the building. You introduce yourselves to them. They show you the utilities, a small kitchen, and a room with a stove, and several buckets of water. If you need more water, the river's right nearby. You ask how long they've lived there. About 8 months, one of the Lotless tells you. They took over this basement back when they only had 10 members. Most of them were more or less homeless. Disowned by the families, expelled from the College of Academy, or seminary. Sophia found a place where they could live together. Everyone sleeps in the basement and meets in the abandoned house above. Sophia certainly is thoughtful, you intone. And she is, your fellow Lotless says, nodding. She takes good care of us, but she's also really secretive and demands that we follow her orders to the letter. Even after all these months, nobody knows where she lives. She only shows herself when she deems it necessary. Soon you come to know the Lotless better, and you see that they truly believe in what they are doing. At present, they're trying to expand their ranks and convince the common folk that the present order in the Empire can and must be fought. You can do this, you have to believe you can do this, and you have to do whatever Sophia says. Some of the students you rescued are also here. With their arrival, the ranks of the Lotless practically doubled. The events of the college turned them against the current system. They're eager to act, and so are you. Sophia meets with every newcomer in private. It takes a few days before she finally speaks to you two. Sophia's sitting at a desk behind a pile of papers. She looks worn out, but still smiles at you. Hi! There's a reason I wanted to talk to you last. Our ranks are growing, but not everyone is as smart and learned and as cunning as you. I need results, and I expect to get them from you. We have to tell the common folk the truth about what happened at the college. It doesn't matter how we do it, the Lotless will never forget, and we will never forgive the nobles for what they did. We have to tell people we exist, and we have to recruit new members. I know you can think of a way to do that. Do both. I expect a good report in 1 week. At our next meeting, good luck. Sophia stops talking and looks at you. You nod. There's something else you want to tell her, but you have no plan just yet, and it seems she has no time for small talk. You leave the meeting room. What will you do now? How can you tell people about the Lotless without everyone getting arrested? The best place to do this would be somewhere on the outskirts of the city, in the markets and taverns where commoners tend to gather. You spend the rest of the day strolling through the city streets. After a night of pondering, you have 3 ideas. Your first idea is the safest. Print a lot of leaflets and spread them all across the turnip. Tiny papers are easy to hand out, and all of it takes a few printed words that hit home. And a printing press. Can you even find a print shop that will support your cause? Plan number 2. Talk about the Lotless to anyone willing to lend an ear. This is a more reliable option. After all, people tend to believe other people more than words on paper. It's more dangerous, too. It's easier to get arrested, an orator than an author, and your numbers are too few as it is. Then there's plan number 3. The city's still abuzz with what happened at college. Somewhere out there, on those frantic streets are people willing to heed your call. Instead of wasting time and effort telling everyone about the Lotless, perhaps you should focus on recruiting. If I could print leaflets, which would give me manipulation and diplomacy, which is good. Write the text for leaflets, print them, and spread them all across the city. And I am going to need manipulation for saving the Lotless, I think. Manipulation 13. My manipulation is 15. I can condemn the nobles, which would give me eloquence. You organize groups of agitators who spread the truth of word by mouth in the city square. And I can recruit new members. Start by combing the city taverns and public houses, searching for more like-minded people among the students and the young. Manipulation, diplomacy, or scheming and eloquence. Oh, goodness. My diplomacy's almost a promising. My manipulation's almost a con artist, too. Eloquence is still nowhere near where I need it to be. And scheming is almost a dangerous one. Oh, this is tough. Because this also costs me willpower, which I'll be down to 5, which would also be rough. Oh, I'm gonna... Oh, fuck. I think I'm gonna print leaflets. Printing leaflets is the safest way to go. They'll tell everybody the truth about the events of the college, and you will stay safe all the while. Now to find a place to print them. The newfound comrades give you the name of the editor of a local newspaper called Imperial Sunrise. He sympathizes with the Lotless. He even gave Sophia shelter in their attic once during a raid. It's time to write the text that will be printed. The Archenians consider us dirt beneath their horses' hooves. They will do anything to bring us down and stay in power. Do you know what happened at the college? Did you hear the Archduke Monroe mocking humans and threatening to kill anyone who entered the college? We did. Did you see him ready to kill innocent students inside the college before they were rescued? We did. Archenians think they can do whatever they want. Will you keep on living under their thumb, or are you ready to make a change? This looks good. Sophia takes a look too and nods. She writes a brief note on a piece of paper and tells you to head for the editor's house. Give the note to the servant and everything will be ready. The editor lives in a wealthy neighborhood. There are planters with flowers in them at every door on his street. The door knocker shines in the sun like a mirror. You glimpse your reflection in the metal before you grab it. A servant opens the door. He glances at the note and asks for the text to be printed. It will be ready in a week, he says, and then the door is locked again. You return 1 week later and receive a big stack of leaflets. You divide them among the lotless. It only takes a single day to distribute them all. Rumors quickly fill the streets of Eterna. On the following day, you already hear people talking. The nobles have done it this time. We better do something. It's time for a change. Next time you meet Sophia, she rewards you with restrained praise. Well done, Theodore. I expect nothing less from you. I'm glad to have you among us. Sus. I do want to get manipulation to gold, though, seeing as how it's my main stat right now. Diplomacy got to promising, though. We are halfway through the youth. 18 years old. A bubbling, bouncing baby boy. You've lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the Trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. The accused spoke in favor of reducing the power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It's a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict. Forced labor in the mines of Magra and Illyria for regular members. True death for their leaders. 6 men, 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name is Annie Serene. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain, with long bangs over her eyes. She looks calm, even at this moment. You cannot believe she is about to leave this world forever. Annie Serene takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die, Annie claims. Others like her will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. She's dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanks on the lever, and 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. A struggle for power. There is discontent. Oh, discontent has increased. Order has increased. Dang. Before the march, the ranks of the lotless are growing steadily now. It's getting harder and harder to breathe in your makeshift meeting hall. People are coming from all across Eterna. Most of them are commoners, laborers, craftsmen, eager students. And all of them feel that the social order based on the lots is out of date. They're always discussing this, both at the major meetings and one-on-one. How can you change society without taking up arms? How can you defend those who suffer at the nobles' hands? You write several articles for a newspaper that is sympathetic to your cause. You cover the pages of the Imperial Sunrise with freedom-loving ideas, but before your words reach the printed pages, you let Sophia read them. I like your articles. They really sting. They burn with genuine fervor and true audacity, and most importantly, you've been calling for action more and more. Our cause is just, and I know it well, but your words light a fire in men's hearts. They bring hope for change. I'd never be able to do this without you, Brant. Thank you. It's time for another meeting of the Lotless. Sophia calms the crowd before she begins. My friends, it's time for us to act. We're strong, we're united, we're many. Our cause is just. Her words are met with cries of support, and your voice joins them. Sophia smiles, but there is still a hard, controlled edge in her eyes. 1 month from now, the Empire will hold a ritual of purification in St. Ignatius Square. Mages and witches who refuse to repent and wear collars will be murdered in a public execution. The church is preparing carefully for this. But these witches never asked for this. They were branded at birth. Our lot is to suffer, but theirs is something far worse. The Inquisition's collar takes away everything. Your family, your estate, your will. A mage becomes a weapon for the Inquisition. They're stripped of their lot and placed in this world. Mages are the true lotless. A witch's collar is the worst prison of all. We must set them free. Their freedom will mark the beginning of freedom for the entire empire. The cries of approval die down, replaced by a growing mumble of confusion. Nobody in the room wants to openly defy the Inquisition. Sophia raises her hand, her eyes glinting in the reflected golden candlelight. The room falls silent again. We're not going to wage war against the Inquisition. What we're going to do is hold a march to support the mages. This will be our statement. We will seek to support the Patriarch Junius Diamant. He says that those who wield magic have the same rights as anyone else in the Empire. He seeks to give mages the freedom to find their own way to the twins. We're going to show the Patriarch that we have heard his words and are ready to openly heed his call. I'm a mage myself. He took off my collar and allowed me to choose my own path. I'm going to give every mage in Witch the same chance. Nobody ever chooses to be born with magic, but mages have the right to choose to abandon their power and follow the twins. Our cause is just. Sophia lets the others speak their mind. Some fully support the march. Others hesitate, unsure what to do. There's also a small group of people who reject the idea outright. Magic is evil, they say. Witches are dangerous. Supporting witches means defying the twins. Sophia leans over them. Angry sparks dance in her eyes. I am a witch, and yet you followed me. You chose to trust me. There's no time left for doubt. If you're not ready to walk this road, it would be best for you to leave the Lotless right away. Several people leave the hall, some of them ashamed, others grim. They all get a parting message from Sophia. Her cry rings through the basement and out onto the street. You will tell them nothing! Everyone else grows quiet. This is the first time anyone has seen the leader of the Lotless shout like that. Sophia drops back into her chair and asks everyone except you and 3 others to leave. You know these 3 Lotless. Sophia uses them for special assignments. You get ready to hear what she has to say. The goal of our march is to get Junius Diamant's attention. We need his patronage. It is essential that he hear about us and support our movement. Without his aid and influence, our fight is doomed. With that, Sophia starts giving orders. She sends a young man to get collars, tells a lively girl to gather people and prepare banners, instructs a lean Legion soldier to plan out the shortest route and the best location to begin the march. Then Sophia dismisses them. It's only the 2 of you now. The basement room you use as a meeting hall grows empty and quiet. You finally notice how tiny and exhausted Sophia looks. Dark rings encircle her eyes, and her skin is as gray as parchment. She worked so hard for your sake. After a moment of quiet, Sophia speaks to you about the Imperial Legion. I don't want to scare the others too soon, but I think you know what I'm going to say. If they have trained legionnaires guarding the square instead of prefecture gendarmes, the soldiers won't stand on ceremony. Some people might die during this march. You spend half the night planning escape routes in case you have to run for your lives. By the time the plan is finally ready, both of you are on the verge of nodding off. This is one more thing Sophia wants you to discuss, however. Many people have joined the Lotless over the past few weeks, but we still don't have enough members. We need to attract other people on the street in order to make our march stronger. People need to see that we aren't just misfits. Sophia has 2 ideas for attracting more people to the march, but you only have enough time to implement one of them. You could call upon the commoners who support the doctrine of Patriarch Photis to join the march. Plenty of people in Eterna had to suffer at the hands of the Inquisition back when the new faith first emerged. Those who rejected the lots were treated like heretics and punished accordingly. Alternatively, you could seek support from the clergy and the nobles. Even among them, many have relatives and friends who have suffered at the hands of the Inquisition. Sophia looks up from her papers. The circles around her eyes are even darker now. She's barely reacted to the world around her. She is but a shadow of the confident young leader of the Lotless you saw speak at the meeting. She lights her pipe and throws herself back into her chair, her eyes half-lidded, looking utterly exhausted. It seems this decision is yours. We can mobilize the commoners, which would give me even more manipulation. Mobilize the lowborn and stay for the march. Mobilize the nobles and the clergy, which would give me diplomacy. Or show Sophia your support. Hey, good job, girl. You work aside in order to help Sophia regain her strength. You put it work aside in order to help Sophia regain her strength. I'm gonna mobilize the commoners. I'd like some diplomacy, and the nobles and the clergy would be good, but I think we need some more numbers. I'm gonna get my manipulation cracking, dude. What's the max cap? 20? Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You spend more time writing a list of people who have not joined the Lotless, but are determined and reliable enough to support the march. Sophia rejects some of the names outright. I don't trust that Moreno. He's friendly with many of the Lotless, but I've never seen him support our cause in a debate. Visser's out too. He was in the square during the college siege, but turned away as if he didn't know us. You compose the invitations for the march, carefully crafting each individual letter. Some families have lost people. Some have seen people collared and taken to the House of Humility. Some have seen friends executed for heresy. Some have been punished for slandering the church and the twins. Each name, each family, each story makes you more horrified by the Inquisition's acts. You realize the extent of Sophia's truth. Our cause is indeed just. You finish only in the small hours of the night. Sophia has barely enough strength to left to smile left a smile as you say goodnight. Go get some sleep, Brant. There won't be much time for that in the weeks to come. You watch her disappear down the dark streets of Eterna, amazed how strong she is. A few years ago, she was just an ordinary girl next door. They call me 17. They call me Slick 17. Because of my penis. 18, 19, 20. I wonder what the yellow dot means. Oh, the feast of the air, the summer of 11D, 30D, 60D. The capital is preparing for a great celebration, the coming of age of Jirian Tempest, heir to the throne. Ribbons and flags flutter in the wind, the streets are scrubbed clean, and the scent of flowers fills the air. You too set some time aside to join the celebration. It's not often that you can see the ruling family of the Empire firsthand. The celebration day comes, and Eterna is abuzz. The festive procession starts on the streets. Students from the college and cadets from the military academy march in front, lined up in columns, and other citizens follow suit. You join the parade around the tail of the procession. Before long, it reaches the square in front of the Emperor's palace. The ruling dynasty of Tempests observe the parade from the palace balcony. They're joined by the Emperor's highest dignitaries and province overseers. For the first time in your life, you see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes there, high up above. The columns of college students and academy cadets comes to a halt with the balcony and salute the Empire with their mottos. The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. Then his voice echoes across the square. You can hear him easily even from so far away. I accept your gratitude, my loyal subjects. Take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service to the Empire. All who are worthy will be ennobled by the mantle by my grace. The nobles-to-be cheer the Emperor's words, but then Archduke Monroe steps onto the balcony, and their jubilation gives way to murmurs of discontent. Everyone here remembers all too well how the ruler Ammonia tried to shut down the college by force. Still, the Archduke is the de facto leader of the Archnean gentry. He's a force to be reckoned with, even for the Emperor. Hail your Emperor, common folk. Be forever obedient and grateful for the good graces you do not deserve by birth. But then everyone grows silent. A young, slender Archnean with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Jirian, heir to the throne, student of Cornelius, promise and the hope of the common estate. To the left of Jirian is his younger brother Flavius. He is baffled at the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Empire. Exalted by these words, the nobles-to-be roar as one. All hail Prince Jirian! Another figure steps into view next to the heir. He's an Archnean, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colors. He raises his arms, about to make a speech. Long live Prince Jirian, students of the college, cadets of the academy. Time and again you have proven yourself to the Empire by word and deed. Today is a day of great celebration, and in honor of Prince Jirian, you must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right of distinguished common folk to be ennobled by the mantle. So act now. Oh, this is the next game, Prince Jirian. You play as Prince Jirian in the next game. Oh, it's gonna be exciting. The cadets and students freeze in hesitation. They exchange glances, unsure whether to follow the words of the Emperor's own brother. On the balcony high above, Prince Jirian also remains still, listening to every reaction from the crowd. Archduke Monroe briskly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before he speaks. Imperial subjects, what the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now. Commotion and murmur spreads over the crowd as some of the nobles-to-be refuse to follow Archduke Monroe's order. There are shouts heard here and there. The law! We ask for the law! The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to follow in line and resume the parade, but tension is rising. The crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerges from the palace. They start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. The commoners are now running left and right. You too have to move away. This quickly quells the commotion in the square and cavalry withdraws. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again. Archduke Monroe stands by his side. The square falls silent at the sight of the sovereign. My subjects, I can see how overjoyed you are for the Prince Jirian, but your show of reverence and gratitude was clearly enough. Now obey my will, continue the parade, sing the praises of the Tempest dynasty, that has given you so much. The square obediently lines up in the columns once again. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and they resume the festive parade through the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther, glory to Prince Jirian. Overseer in power. They are in power. They are indeed in power. Ah, letters from home. There are days when you receive letters from home. Father's writing is very reserved. He mostly discusses events and work in Magra and writes very little about the family. It makes me proud that I have managed to teach Stefan how to handle our affairs at home. Your older brother behaves impeccably at the society balls and receptions that we host. He's already made several crucial acquaintances. But Gloria has a different opinion of Stefan. She thinks your older brother is taking more and more after grandfather. Stefan's a lot like grandfather. It's in his manners, his posture, his voice. He even dresses just like him. He used to be aloof around me and we barely talked in the past, but now he always blames me and tears me apart. I can't take it anymore. He walks all over me all the time and treats me like a housemaid. Mother writes to you. From her letters, you learn that Nathan just barely managed to graduate from school. It makes me sad to admit that Nathan has none of the talents you have. The other day, he told me he won't even try to study in the capital. He says he won't be able to pass the exams. I find solace only in the nights Nathan and I spend together reading the scriptures and our walks to the church by the silver tree. He accompanies me every time. Your sister and younger brother write about Mother too, and they say that the same thing about her. She now spends more time locked away in her chambers to brood. Gloria does her best to accompany Mother when she leaves home, and Nathan's letters mention her steps echoing the halls in the middle of the night. There's one more thing Nathan mentions in his letters. Stefan and Gloria have been fighting very often these days. Stefan always tries to get under Gloria's skin, and she answers him in kind. But Stefan calls her a lowly commoner to make her shut up. You always tremble in excitement each time you see a new letter with the seal of your home province. Your fate is still bound tightly to your families, no matter the distance between you. Aww. Everybody hates me. Oy vey. The March of the Colors. This is the morning you've all been preparing for. One of the houses in downtown Eterna is packed with a crowd of people. Everybody puts collars on their necks. There are not enough for everyone, so the rest of them cover their necks with scarves and belts and anything else that looks dark against the skin. There are so many faces, even faces you've never seen before. People of all estates have come here today. You flow out into the street. People keep coming to join the crowd even as you start walking. There are shouts in the crowd now. Our cause is just. These words fill you with confidence, help you remain composed. Everyone is smiling. You march in the front row. The feeling is indescribable. Change is coming. The square is already covered with stacks of firewood for the pyres. You see people in collars tied to wooden stakes with inquisitors busy around them. The fiery execution is almost ready to begin. Your path is blocked. Imperial Legion soldiers stand guard on all streets leading to the square. The crowd keeps pushing. There are cries on the streets now. Mages and witches are the children of gods, of the gods. Give the witches back their lives. Down with the shackles of the lots. The cries in the lotless fill St. Ignatius Square. Fill St. Ignatius Square. A legionnaire yells over the mob and orders you to stand aside before they draw their swords. And then you hear a scream right next to you. We've got them outnumbered. We're going through them. Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury and faith in victory, and you run straight at the legionnaire's sharp sword. But suddenly a hand catches you and pulls you back. You see Sophia now, her eyes burning with golden light. The ecstatic, furious mob flows around her and toward the unnerved legionnaire. Sophia's face looks inhuman now, her grin predatory. The legionnaire swings his sword at a maddened mob, but he is quickly knocked off his feet. His fellow soldiers guarding the square lock their shields together and draw their swords. There's a look of bewilderment in the Inquisitor's eyes. Seems none of them expected such frenzy. Sophia leads the attack. Set the sufferers free! Junius Diamant is on our side! The twins are our shields! Any idea of a peaceful march is now thrown to the wind. Sophia is about to send the lotless against the lines of the legionnaires. Only moments are left until they strike. You have to be there in the front lines. Or will you try to stop her and avoid further bloodshed? There's still time. Or will you execute the plan yourself and free the captives from the funeral pyres on your own? If I begin the assault, Aelys gets true death. Oh, I can rescue Aelys here. That's funny. That gives me a valor point. You repeat Sophia's cry and set her plan into motion. I can hold Sophia back. You best prevent the senseless loss of life. Sophia's not trusting on me. And you still rescue Aelys. And I would get an eloquence point and a manipulation point, which is very funny. I can resolve. I can rescue the mages on my own. I'm scheming. I get Sophia points, scheming, and Aelys is rescued. Okay. I got a little movement in me. A little rogue. I didn't know we were doing a rogue build. The lotless trample the legionnaires. The Inquisition tries to stop those who make it past the shield-bearing soldiers. Your eyes catch an unguarded opening leading straight to the square. You run away from Sophia through the crowd and then squeeze through the opening and head for the pyres. The Inquisitors are too busy binding the fleeing lotless with the wondrous power of the younger twin. No one's watching the pyres. You turn over a barrel, flooding the square behind the Inquisitors with tar, and set it on fire. They're now trapped with the mob. You start acting quickly, cutting the ropes that bind the mages to the stakes. An old man with a horrifying facial scar screams when you accidentally cut him, but you have no time to be careful. Their freedom comes first. The last mage you free is a girl with golden hair. She must have been a beauty in the past, but now her body is beaten and bruised. She's frightened and confused, like all the other mages. And suddenly you notice a young woman in an Inquisitor's cassock. You're moments away from assaulting her until you see that she's helping the girl with the golden hair off the pyre. Did you just hear her apologize? The Inquisitor looks at you next. Thank you. You push the freed mages toward the mob, yelling instructions into each ear. They have to scatter. They have to run. Run away from Eterna as fast and as far away as possible. The mages mix with the collared crowd. All you can do now is hope they will find a way out. Reaching Sophia in the chaos takes an eternity. You grab her hand, shout that the mages are free, and drag her away from the bloodshed. Then you run together until the screams in the square no longer can be heard. That's far enough, Brant. We need to split up. We're too suspicious. Now let's take off these collars. We don't need them anymore. We need to lay low, at least for several days. Don't go back to our house. I get the feeling there's a shakedown coming. A lot of us are going to get arrested, I'm afraid. But it's all worth it. I'm just glad it ended so quickly. You nod and turn away, ready to flee, but before you do, Sophia grabs you by the arm one more time. Was that all you? Did you set them free by all yourself? You nod. Sophia's eyes glow with awe. You find a flop house on a nearby street and rent a dirty cubbyhole of a room. No questions asked. You pay for a few days, stay at once. It's a good thing you kept your money on you today. Then you walk upstairs to the room and collapse onto the bed. There's no news about the Lotless. It's as though none of it ever happened. You go to St. Ignatius Square only 3 weeks later. The cobblestones are covered with soot, and you see spots of dried blood. In the bushes nearby, you find several broken collars. Our cause is just. I'm a little dangerous, so I got a little danger in my heart. Excuse me. Excuse me. The March of the Collars, year 1130-60. The march in defense of the witches ended in chaos and carnage on the streets of Eterna. Oh, we saved Elia. We saved Elias. Aelus? We saved Aelus. You saved the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely death. Wonder what will happen next. Oh? Oh! We're 3/4 away through our youth in the year 1130-70. The Overseer of Magra. 2, count them, 1, 2, open brackets, symbol 2, 2. Major events take place while you are busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the Great Chancellor of the Empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. Bam. His replacement is the Archduke Ammonian, Agirius Monroe, the same Monroe who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm finally convinced the emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the lowborn. Now the policies of the empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new Great Chancellor will destroy the imperial code of laws and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the new Great Chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest, the older brother of Emperor Uzo II. Usually the overseer of the province is its archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. Yet now this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Melanidus is absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former Great Chancellor Cornelius Tempest. Damn, I'm trying to remember these names. The nobles at the Emperor's court say this is a stratagem by the Archnean gentry who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Melanidus will be at each other's throats over the province. Hang on, there's a guy revving up 2nd Avenue. This does not bode well for the future. Only one thing is clear. Magra, your home province, is about to face great change. The struggle for power in Magra? Yeah. Peace! It is a peaceful time. Look at me, dude. Look at me. I'm hoping for a Lotless at large. Shield of the New Faith. Weeks pass, then months, and not a word from the Lotless. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. How much longer will you have to wait? Your hopes of seeing the Lotless return wane more and more with each passing day. You still recall the loss and bloodshed of St. Ignatius Square with pain. What happened to the others? How many of you managed to get away? And more importantly, what happened to Sophia? More days pass, you hear nothing. You keep returning to the same familiar city streets, glancing at the walls and windows, waiting anxiously for a sign or a familiar face. Then one day you finally see a sign. A yellow towel hanging outside the widow mayor's window. That means tonight. You return to the basement. Only a few people are there. You look into their faces. There are fewer of you now. Some of the Lotless could not bring themselves to come, and others died back in the square. Sophia sits at the opposite end of the room like an actor on a stage, her pipe in her hand. A golden ray of sunset has just reached through the basement window to glint in her hair. People are sitting at the benches or leaning against the wall. You sit where you normally do, in the front row, almost in the middle. There are voices, there are questions. Why did our meeting stop? Where's Sophia been all this time? The fuck do we do now? Sophia stands up and looks straight at you, a golden light glowing in her eyes. I want to ask you all for one last favor. Please, for your own sake, don't do anything foolish. The golden light in Sophia's eyes come alive and flies through the hall, enveloping the others in a viscous warmth. Your eyelids grow heavy, your mind becomes tangled and slow to react. You can barely stand and your legs feel like they're made out of rubber. The people in the front row slump to the floor. There are cries of surprise and confusion from the back row. Then you hear heavy, stomping steps. Armed knights clad in black armor enter the basement. The Lotless at the door draw their weapons and are killed instantly. A voice full of steel rings through the room. In the name of Emperor Uther II, you are all under arrest. Your heart's racing, but the rays of sunlight will not release you from this stupor. You can do nothing but watch as your united brotherhood perishes. This feels like a nightmare. Some run for the tiny windows, others get down on their knees and surrender immediately, others stand or sit still, unsure of what to do. Your former unity is shattered. People you used to call friends and allies now kneel in submission, and those who do not kneel are quickly cut down. There are screams and flashes of steel, and then a merciless cry. Surrender or face execution! Sophia is no longer glowing. Her eyelids are red. She tries to maintain her composure, but you can see her lower lip trembling. Your eyes meet, and then she looks away. Sophia? But how? Why? Everything ends as quickly as it began. Most of you are arrested, many are killed. Everyone bound by Sophia's spell is swiftly bound at the wrists and placed against the wall. You know most of you would rather die fighting, and you would if you were not bound and gagged by magic. They took your choice away from you. These people are well armed and well trained, but you see no signs in their armor. They're not the Legion, not the Prefecture, not the Inquisition. Your worst fear has come true. These are the soldiers from the secret chancellery. Your body is bound by magic so strong, you cannot even twitch. You're trapped along with the rest of the Lotless. There is no escape. Your eyes close. You have to muster all your willpower to drive slumber away. Do you have enough willpower to break Sophia's spell, even for a moment? And even if you do, will it even help you resist? I can resist Sophia. I get valor and eloquence. Sophia has betrayed you all. You urge your brothers to resist her. Create a distraction. You break free and distract the secret chancellery soldiers in order to give some of the Lotless a chance to escape. I can surrender. You accept the inevitable and do not resist arrest. Scheming would be good here. Valor and eloquence would be nice. Valor and eloquence. Damn. Creating a distraction would be... I kind of want more willpower, because I'm pretty sure we're about to be tortured. You accept the inevitable and do not resist arrest. Yeah. The trap springs. You collapse against the wall as the spell gets the better of you. You're barely strong enough to keep your eyes open. Suddenly a boot kicks you roughly in the gut. You double over in pain. Sophia's right next to you, breathing heavily. You lie slumped on the floor, expecting to be kicked again, but they do not touch you anymore. She leans over you and whispers, I'm glad you didn't try anything foolish. Now I know you'll be safe. A soldier's boot steps just shy of your face. There's blood on it. Now I know you'll be safe. Sophia is your only ticket out of this, but can you even trust her after such a betrayal? Can you even believe in her after all the lies she used to trick you and the Lotless? Crawl aside, Brant, and stay out of this until we're done. Men clad in black armor quickly tie up your friends and take them outside. One by one, you watch Sophia as you wait for them to get to you. Your breathing becomes calmer, your doubt slowly dissipates. You have to trust Sophia in this. She will find a way to keep you safe. You hear heavy steps again. They tie you up, tightening the knot around your wrist so hard your fingers turn white. You're dragged outside roughly and thrown into a windowless wagon along with the other Lotless. Soon the wagon shifts, then starts moving. You're being taken somewhere. Attack on the Lawless. The secret society of Lawless are struck down by the secret chancellery. Many of the conspirators are captured. Damn. And here we are, in the prisons of the chancellery. Days are followed by nights. Nights are followed by new days. You can only tell because of the light coming in through the tiny window near the ceiling. You've spent several months in this cramped cell. It is 5 steps long, 2 steps wide. These walls felt oppressive during your first week, but people can get used to anything eventually. They feed you twice a day. They do not answer any questions. They take away the food if you scream too loudly. You think to your family often. How would they react if they heard you facing execution for being part of an underground movement? Mother would die from grief. Execution always brings true death. Father's hair would turn white. Gloria would cry. Stefan would rage, and Nathan would become even more isolated. Sophia, how could she do such a thing? Oh, hi, Graham. How's the reading been going? We're not too bad. We're in prison. We got imprisoned. She said the Lawless were her family. She insisted so much on freeing the innocent mages. She urged you to support Patriarch Junius and the new faith. Sophia said all that, and then she stood there and watched her fellow Lawless get killed and arrested. Their lives lost, years of work undone and destroyed. Driven mad with rage, you punch the stone wall. Blood spatters from your knuckles. It grows dark again. The lock on the door squeaks and the cell opens. They carry you out by your arms, but you no longer resist. You're sick of this. It's no use anymore. They seat you in the interrogation room. There's a man sitting across from you. Plain, but well-tailored jacket. Pale face and chiseled features. Thick black mustache. Black eyes watching your every move from their deep sockets. When did the secret chancellery first start watching? When did you all become pawns in their game? How have I gotten into prison? Oh, I joined a secret group and then our leader betrayed all of us. The nobleman keeps studying you with utter disdain. Even grandfather never looked at you with such scorn. He wears a pendant in the shape of a wheel. His gloved hands rest atop a table with a walking stick leaning against it. Behind him stands Sophia, her head down. I'm Baron Philippe Alfaro, advisor to the secret chancellery, but I have dislike for titles. Call me Sir Philippe. That will suffice. I know everything about you, young Brant. Your father and grandfather are loyal servants of the Empire. Your brother is a noble by birth. Where did your life take such a turn? How did you stoop so low? The advisor of the secret chancellery shakes his head, presenting you with a clearly false smile of sympathy. You feel like a student in front of a strict teacher, but you will not leave this room with a mere flogging. You young people don't even realize what you're doing, openly defying the church and its teachings, openly speaking out against the law. And when Junius Diamat gives you the order, you wreak havoc in the capital, assault priests and free apostate witches sentenced to execution. Isn't that right, Sophia? Yes, Sir Philippe. It all happened exactly as you said. You shiver with disbelief. There's no order from Junius Diamat. That's not true. It never happened. You look at Sophia, but she will not look at you. Her eyes are only on Baron Alfaro, and he looks at you with a fatherly smile and a ruthless gaze. You're trapped. Now his words will be the truth, and nobody will ever believe anything you say. If only I could be like you, young Brant, a mere boy who thinks he can change the Empire all on his own. But I suppose it's a good thing I'm not that naive, otherwise I'd be in your shoes right now. And you'd be dealing with someone far worse than me. There are many things in this world that do not sit well with me either, but unlike your youthful rebellion, my goals are quite clear. My wish is to save the Empire, to save it from the likes of you, people who reject tradition and the laws given to us by the gods, fools who seek to set the mages free, practitioners of a new faith that is destroying the church from within, even if their leader is a patriarch and an archnean from an ancient dynasty. Few know my methods, and that is why they are effective. Thanks to Sophia and the secret society of hers, we have already managed to gather all the dangerous insurgents together and summarily deal with them in one fell swoop. The heretic Julius Diamat is next in line. But that is none of your concern. Let us speak of your fate now. Philippe produces a folder full of notes and puts it in front of a table in front of you. The folder bears your name. Your hands shake as you flip through the pages. How you infiltrated the college during the siege, how you helped recruit more people for the Lawless, the articles you wrote for the newspaper, the advice you gave Sophia, your preparations for the March of the Callers. Your life over the past 3 years is laid down on these pages. Just the records of your presence at the Lawless meetings is enough to sentence you to execution, but that is the least of what you have done over these years. Your stomach churns. Do not expect your father's authority as a judge to save you from this, Brant. He is just a second-generation judge. A brief note from me and you will face true death, and then your father and the rest of your peculiar little family as well. What say you? Is there a reason I shouldn't do just that? Sir Philippe, aye. He strikes Sophia swiftly and painfully. She doubles over and clutches at her stomach, gasping for breath. Slowly, Philippe returns the walking stick to its previous position. His gaze never leaves you. I don't remember giving you permission to speak, but very well, I grant it now. Speak! Sophia finally catches her breath and leans against the wall. She looks at you for the first time since the interrogation began. Sir Philippe, Brant grew up in Anazot, like me. He's very bright and has proven himself to be quite capable since his very first days with the Lotless. You will find my description of him in my report. He will serve your cause in Magra well. You do not look at Sophia. Her betrayal is the reason you ended up here, but now she's putting herself at risk to save your life. Philippe stares you down, his chin resting on his fist. Proved himself, you say? Then how about he proves himself to me as well? There are only two ways out of this room, Brant. One leads to the gallows, the other makes you my loyal servant. Thank your childhood friend for this mercy. I will give you one chance and only one. To prove that you are useful to the Secret Chancellery, I am listening. What the fuck? I can be part of the fucking Italian OSS? I didn't know I could do spycraft. Reject the Secret Chancellery, and then I just die. Very funny. Minus 10 reputation, true death, die. You choose true death for yourself and dishonor the Brant family, betray the remaining Lotless, and I can collapse the Lotless. You seek salvation in the service to your new master in the name of the Lotless who have managed to remain safe so far. Prove that you will be useful. You prove to Sir Philippe you understand his plot and have what it takes to put it in motion. Or I can outwit Philippe. Ooh. You convince the advisor that you will serve him well, but ensure that the remaining Lotless will not get caught. Oh, very good. And so we shall. You pull yourself together and start thinking. You have to earn your freedom, and for that, you must prove that you can be useful to the Secret Chancellery, but you cannot betray the Lotless who are still free. And so you start talking. You describe everything you've learned over the past 3 years, including your work with the Lotless, your recruitment, propaganda efforts, public activities. Philippe listens carefully to every word you say. You use your cunning to convince him that the Lotless pose no threat and have no leadership with Sophia and you out of the picture. If you're to be believed, the Lotless were already on the verge of disbanding. Sophia is silent and emotionless as you speak. Nothing in her reacts to your lies. Well then, you're quite self-assured, Brant. So you're trying to tell me your entire secret society was held together entirely through your efforts? Granted, you talk far better than those half-literate street rats. One way or another, the Lotless have outlived their usefulness. I have no use for the rest of those pathetic ragamuffins. Color me impressed, but if you disappoint me, so much the worse for you. Now mark my words. From this moment on, you are my secret servant. This is your only lot in life now, as it were. You will obey me and no one else, and do not even think of mentioning the Secret Chancellery to anyone. You and Sophia will return to Anazot, tell everyone you earned a small fortune in the capital or made wealthy friends. You're a slippery young man, just think of something believable, will you? Once you're there, open a print shop. Don't waste too much time on it. This job will be your cover to keep you looking busy in life. My people will pay you visits from time to time and bring you instructions from me. I have big plans for your desert province. My every instruction must be carried out immediately. If you ever fail to try to fool me, your family will suffer along with you. Here, this should be enough for the print shop. Now you have something to bring back home. With a chuckle, Philippe drops a hefty pouch at your feet. It falls like a rock and makes a sound like only gold can make. Before he can say anything, he turns around and leaves. Once you're left alone with Sophia, she finally lets her emotions rise to the surface. Don't you dare call me a traitor. Do you think it was that easy for me to watch my friends being killed? Nobody would have left that room alive if it wasn't for me. Yeah, I bound everyone I could with my spell, because otherwise, you would have died trying to fight back. I hoped I could get everyone out of there alive, but I only got you out. It's a good thing you said what you said. Now Philippe will pay no attention to the Lotless. The survivors will continue our work eventually without us. And as for you and me, Philippe has us on his leash now. We'll have to survive like this. We can't run from him. If I don't do what I'm told, he'll have me collared and sent back to the House of Humility to be an obedient soulless puppet. But we have each other now. We can do this. Don't lose hope. A jailer enters the room before you can say anything else. You're led out of the prison into the yard. You wince at the light of the sun and the shining pillar. A carriage takes you back to the flop house where you took refuge after the March of the Collars, The driver kindly informs you he has orders to take you back to Anazot in 3 days. You start packing. It all feels like a dream. Everything will happen exactly as Philippe said. You have nowhere to run. If you try to flee, they will find you, and they will find your family first. In the Blessed Arcanian Empire, there is no way to start over with a clean slate. The twins and the Secret Chancellery see all. Your months in prison are in the past, but can you truly call yourself free now? You'll be going home soon. Ooh, I saved the lot list. You rescued the lot list, and the Secret Society continues its activities in the capital. Very good. Alright, we're a spy now. Agent of the Secret Chancellery. You now serve the Secret Chancellery. Your life and fate are in the hands of advisor Philippe El Ferro. Very nice, very nice. Diamant stands trial. No shot, they got his ass. They're gonna cut Junius's fucking head off, man. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the streets. Junius Diamant, Patriarch of Astinia, one of the leaders of the new faith, will stand trial before the church tribunal. The Order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy. The Holy Tribunal claims that Junius Diamant was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that fettered their accursed powers. And what's worse, the Patriarch was also accused of forming the Lotless, a dangerous secret society based on the imperial capital. Members of the society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape the holy law. Now the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the new faith, and the end of the days for Junius Diamant himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dared to shake the foundations of the old faith. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius's reply to the Holy Tribunal. It's no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies. I will say this to anyone who dares to bring this accusation against me in person. But I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of their responsibility for this slander against me, my flock, the Diamant Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land and on my own terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Arcania. Parishes of the new faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Diamant. The Church of the Twins Gods is about to be rent in twain. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. The new official stance is that Patriarch Junius has been wrongfully accused, and the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any further trials against the followers of the new faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Photis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition. Whoa, dude, they are giving a lot of ground here. The trial of Junius Diamant has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The new faith has directly challenged the old faith. The result is uncertain depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Diamant all but pled guilty, other believes the Patriarch and some alleged rebellion against the church, as well as the Inquisition, is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the Secret Chancellery's dirty deeds. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astinia and co-leader of the new faith remains at his post. But for how long? And how will the old faith and the new faith clash next? There's a schism approaching. A farewell to the capital! Nice. The Lotless are indeed at large. Path of a nobleman. Path of a priest. The Reglata and Talarina rivers meet outside the city walls. You barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived here as a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectation and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. Where did your youthful ambition lead you in the end? Eterna never became your home to you. It was a place of turmoil and disappointment. You tried to change the course of history, but history broke you in half and threw you away. You were too young and inexperienced. Your entire life was wrecked by a single decision. What future could you possibly have now? All of your hopes are buried here in Eterna, and you must leave the city behind. Your hands clench into fists as you think about it. You'll have to live two lives. A public life as the owner of a print shop, and a secret life as a spy for the Secret Chancellery. This is the only path fate has in store for you now. Mother used to say that humility and hard work are the strength of the common folk. Each new blow brings less pain and teaches you to get back up more quickly. All you have to do is walk this path without showing weakness. But you strayed from the path of humility and graduated from the school of hard knocks. Ever tried to open a door using a single plastic bottle? No, that sounds tough though. You learned to lie and manipulate others to survive and hide and act in secret. As a teacher, Sophia had no equal. But what are you supposed to do now? Will you accept your role in the schemes of the Secret Chancellery since it means well for the Empire? Or will you have what it takes to find another way and use your new position for schemes of your own? Many things must have changed back home by now. You recall Gloria particularly fondly, the way she used to rebel all the time and defy her lot to write poems. She always fought hard to be herself no matter what other people or the law said. Gloria was the only one who supported your decision to find your own path. You want to see her so badly and tell her all the news and share the joy of your return with her. You have to get her a gift from the capital, something that will matter to your sister while there is still time. You decide to buy her a book she could never find in Anazot. You start coming to the market. You go to 5 bookstores, but you see nothing suitable. One last shop, and then it's time to leave, you promise yourself. The store's marked by an unremarkable sign, and on an unremarkable building. You enter a dark room full of bookshelves. On one of these shelves, you see a small book bound in black leather. The name of the author? Charmlanidus, is stamped in gold. You peek inside. How strange. This is not a biography of the rebellious Duke and his rebellion. It's not even a study of his legacy. It's a book of his poems. You thumb through the pages and realize that Gloria would enjoy this book very much. The poetry of Charmlanidus is about love and struggle and strength of will and the drive to keep fighting even when all hope is lost. The book costs almost nothing. It leaves the bookstore with you. You leave the capital in the morning after. The carriage hired by the Secret Chancellor awaits you at the door. Eterna, the city where you spent 4 years, slowly disappears on the horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The book, a gift for Gloria, is in your hands. Oh. Homecoming! The year is 1130-70. Back to the desert. After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anazot. Most used locks for making wooden doors can't handle a thin material like plastic. That's true. That is true. The end of youth. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new business in your hometown of Anazot. The years away from your home were full of tumult and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burdens of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself, or was it your destiny all along, ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. The end of Chapter 3, The End of Youth. We rescued Aelus, a lotlesser at large. We became a secret agent of the Chancellery. We took the path of the lotless in a bond of friendship. A bond of friendship. My personal qualities at the end of this chapter, you will keep them for the rest of my life. A diplomacy of 10, a neophyte of theology, a con artist of manipulation. I never got to 20, but maybe we can increase that somehow. A valor of 8. I'm not very strong in valor, and I'm pretty tongue-tied, but I am dangerous. A Marouge, if you will. Alright, let's look at the beginning of the next chapter. At the ripe old age of 20-cus. Scary. A time of peace it was.
Full adult now, I returned from the capital a changed man. Yet, my hometown was not the same as I had left it.
Oh shit.
Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
This should be good. Chapter 4. A time of peace. I also unlock a new tab. Oh, it changed from the scales to an illusion mask. A note from the underground. The carriage makes way along its road. You see a land of Magra through the window, empty and desiccated by ancient magic. Your home, Anazot, is but a few hours away along this road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun, even with thick blinds pulled tight. It's a familiar heat, but you will now need to get used to it again. Hey, guest. The western accent is still noticeable. The heat weighs heavily on you, but it also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family again soon. Posted 2 videos? Nice. How will they react to you? Will they accept you after you betrayed their hopes and their trust? You're back in your native province. You will be home soon, but you're no longer the boy who took this very road to the capital 4 years ago. But who are you now? A clandestine outlaw? A rebel? Or an agent of the Secret Chancellery? What future awaits you now? Can you get your freedom back? Can you save everything you hold dear? To drive away the worries about your new life and new destiny, you reread Sophia's letter yet again. I'm glad you didn't do anything stupid and chose to seize your chance for freedom, Brant. I'll go to Anazot a week after you. Both of us coming back at the same time might attract unwanted attention. It's best if nobody even knows we have anything to do with each other. We'll find an excuse for our frequent meetings later. You should go home and reconnect with your family. Don't draw any attention. Keep your head down. Don't leave that old house of yours. When the time comes, I'll find you. Tell everyone you're planning to open a print shop, find a building to rent for it, someplace far from prying eyes. It'll be our underground headquarters. I'll tell you more about our mission when we meet. That's all. You put the letter back in your pocket. The walls of Anazot have finally emerged on the horizon. Before you do anything else, you're going home. Here we are. You're back in your home province, but you're no longer the boy who left it by this very road 4 years ago. Who are you now? A conspirator? A rebel? Or an agent of the secret chancellery? Can you get your freedom back? Can you save everything you hold dear? The most important event that will happen this chapter, only one of them will happen. True death is the one that will happen to me, of course. I can get glory to the Empire. There are new stats, spy networks, and unrest. Philippe Alfaro saw my loyalty, and Sophia has grown close, and I need more power. You stop the Anazot rebellion dead in its tracks and become Philippe's closest confidant. The Free City, together with Mayor Egmont, the last straw incites a rebellion amongst the common folk to fight for their rights. Master of Anazot, you help the magistrate regain control of Anazot in exchange for protection against the secret chancellery. Whoa. Whoa. The last straw is right. The last straw breaks free of its chains and incites a full-blown uprising against the Empire. Farewell, advisor. Philippe's plan comes to fruition. You finally earn your freedom. I'm a free man! The Brant family now has enough influence to protect you against Sir Philippe's wrath. Favored by the Overseer. True death. Your earthly life is over. You leave the world forever and face the judgment of the twins. The most important events that may happen in the House of Brant at the end of this chapter, ennobled by the sword. The Brant family becomes a hereditary dynasty of nobles of the sword. Its status passed down from generation to generation. Branded by dishonor and the family in ruins. Favored by the Overseer, the Brant family becomes a hereditary dynasty of the sword, earning the favor of Overseer Gaius Tempest, and a place in the court. Damn. Glorious bloodline, a family of means, heir of the family. You succeed your elder brother Stefan as the heir of the Brant family. He died. He must have died. The family falls apart. The Brant family is no more. Events that can happen to the Brant family in this chapter. A family of means, the Brant family becomes known throughout the city for its wealth. It's funny. Mother recovers. Mother finds the strength to recover from a grave illness. Gloria Brant. Robert adopts Gloria, and she becomes a full-fledged Brant. Branded by dishonor, the Brant name is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. A family at peace. You find a way to unite the Brant family and end all the strife at home. Stefan Brant has not been killed in a duel. Stefan Brant does not have a secret plot. Gloria does not have a secret plot, and Gloria is not betrothed. Unite the family. The family in ruins. Financial well-being of the Brant family is decimated. A glorious bloodline, the Brant family earns great renown, becoming the newest eminent dynasty in Anazot. And deeds that I can accomplish in my own chosen life path. A profitable business! Thanks to your investment, the print shop becomes much more believable as the front of your underground operations and may actually turn a profit sooner or later. Any thoughts about this game? It's really fun. Stockpile of arms. You have enough weapons to arm a squad of rebels loyal to you alone. Scheming. Over 15, a stash of gunpowder. Seize the guns. Sophia has the gunpowder. Sophia gains access to your stash of gunpowder. No! She stole my gunpowder. Stash of gunpowder. You happen to obtain a considerable amount of gunpowder. Maybe I do. The section that opens up this chapter is occupation. So it is. So that's the new one for us. Our stats right now, those are our stats. They have not changed. The House of Brant, we are at Reputation 4, with a Wealth of 5 and a Unity of 4. Gotcha. There's the family. There's my relationship tree. There's a map of the Empire. We're back in Anazot. Here's the province. Gaius Tempest is our overseer. Cassius is the patriarch. Currently, Magra is at a -2 for a struggle of power. Church is at a -2 in a schism. The wealth of Magra is still pretty affluent, and it's very ordered. And here is the newest one, occupation. The state of affairs at your workplace, how close you are to your goals, the goals you're pursuing. Unrest represents how rebellious the commoners of the province are and how ready they are to fight for their rights. It determines the influence of the last straw in Anazont and the power of the impending rebellion. Discontent people are ready for struggle, riots, and mayhem. And my spy network. Your covert, citywide network of spies and informants. It determines the influence of the secret chancellery in the city of Anazont. My people are everywhere. My people are... It is my peopler. Fascinating. 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 Mr. Brant, it is I. Hello, Mr. Brant. Fascinating, dude. I wonder what the other choices are like. There's like the religious... I guess there's the religious order that you can join, and then like the nobles order that you can join. That's crazy to think about, though. But all right, everybody. That's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to hit the hay. I'm going to go do some chores. Maybe make some wine. Maybe make some cheesecakes. I don't know. We'll see. Something along those lines. But I hope everybody has a good rest of your night. I will see everybody on Friday. I think today was the last stream this week. Yeah, I'll see everybody on Friday for some more TF2. Until then, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. That was fun, man. That game is so good.